my name is Roxane and I study at Schema Business School. Schema allows us to get the opportunity to study in 2 different countries. As a result, in relation to the course of local awareness, we had to study cultural theories and then to relate them to our personal experiences. As a result, me, Mathieu, Lola and Flavie were asked to share, to compare and contrast our experiences in relation to the theories. So here are the number of videos that we have been able to create thanks to our experience.
When I do my introspective paper or when I talk about my exchange to the United States with my family and my friends, everyone thinks that I am living the honeymoon stage of my studies here in the US, but it's not easy as that. Unlike Flavie, I feel that I have traveled a lot since I was young with my parents and I have a lot of chance for that. But however, I sincerely agree with her that it's both exciting and scary to travel so far away to a country you don't know and for so long. So unconsciously, we often take refuge in the comfort of going on a trip with our parents, our families, our friends, our relatives. But the reality is different when we are alone and alive. And when we are alone and alive, I left my parents' home at the age of 17 from Paris to study in the south of France. It didn't prepare me to be here on a different continent and again for so long and so far. So as Flavie and that she said, I love the experience, discovering new people, their way of life, trying to understand their way of thinking and seeing things in life. There are some aspects in American life that are difficult to approach. And we know this, but we are being culturally relativistic by making judgments about their own systems of norms, values, and practices. And for example, people here tend to have tight schedules, so they don't place as much importance of food as we do in France, simply because they don't think it's necessary to spend too much time in cooking or eating. But in France, and we know this, that sharing meals is valued even when it is a work day. But here, work is more important than social interaction over a meal, like in France. And like Flavie, it was therefore difficult to approach a community life with our respective roommates. And so unfortunately it hurts both her and me to not have the comfort that we know so well of a comforting meal with our loved ones every night and after a hard day and all the stuff around. So Flavie and I need to find the right balance between American individualism and our natural collectivism. So according to Gert Hofstadter, in some societies the interest of the group come before the personal interest of the member of that group. And we are here in the US as guests and we must adapt to that. And we have to remember that this country teaches us that people can react differently because they have been raised in a different culture and therefore have different mentalities, obviously. So we have to adapt to that and keep it positive. And as Flavie says so well, if I had to do it again, I would it and all over again.
Hello, my name is Flavie Barber. I am 20 going on 21 and last August I moved to the United States on the Schema Raleigh campus. In September, after 1 month of living in the country, I immediately noticed how much American people tend to be individualistic. For instance, on the weekends when we tend to sleep a bit later in the morning in Europe, my American roommate does not care whether she makes a lot of noise or not, whereas my French roommate makes sure to be as quiet as possible so as not to wake us up. It mostly annoyed me at first because I was raised in a society that tends to think about the well-being of others as well as my own, but I realized that my American roommate did not do this with the intent to bother us. She did it unconsciously. So I adapted by wearing earplugs when I was sleeping, for example. This experience, I think, can be related to Hofstede's individualism versus collectivism theory, as both my roommate and I act differently depending on which type of society we have been raised in. Indeed, I noticed that Roxane discovered the opposite when she moved to Barcelona and met many Moroccan people. She found out that they were, on the contrary, collectivist people, as they liked sharing